You've got to be in front of these people, years in some cases before they've ever even known of you or need your services.
Now we're going to dive into with the one and only Ari Levenbaum, who I've heard amazing things from Harlan Schillinger and a lot of people who we've had on this show before as a marketing genius. He helped build Law Tigers into one of the top 20 law firm brands in the United States, of all law firm brands, dominating the motorcycle accident niche of law. And we're going to dive into today with Ari, how do you get started on niche marketing, and what are the do's and don'ts when you're trying to increase your average case value and you're just doing things differently than 99.9% of firms. You've built an actual brand for a specific vertical of law. So for the attorneys who are here who maybe they do PI or maybe they do criminal law or they do just a general practice area vertical, what is the different level of thinking when you go after a specific niche of law versus just selecting a practice area?
Good question. So we tell everybody to focus on, one thing. Many of our firms are generalists, and that's worked for them in the past, but with competition and big spenders and advertisers, especially in the larger markets, becomes very difficult to stand out and compete on the same level financially. So our position is, look, we'll come in and we will help you serve an underserved base, in this case, motorcycle riders, through a multi-tiered marketing approach. And I think that's the biggest takeaway today, is that you cannot drive high volume, high value cases without a mixed marketing strategy. And by that, I mean, not just reaching your audience in one way, but in a number of ways. And in the case of our program, and essentially what we are is we're a full service marketing agency that only serves our elite members, and it's exclusive to just one state or one market or territory. There's no overlap. But this mixed marketing approach that we've developed over the years involves essentially three, I call it departments, if you will, or categories. Number one is our traditional. I have two full-time media buyers. We buy television, outdoor, and radio, and that varies from market to market, right? It depends on cost, competition, availability, budgets. So in some markets, we may have TV and outdoor, which is billboards. In other markets, we may have just radio or radio and TV. When we sell a market, my media buyer and I go in, meet with the reps, look at value, look at efficiencies to determine what's the best mix of traditional. The second category, if you will, is digital. And I've got 6 full-time digital staff. And when I say digital, that's, a number of different initiatives. That's search engine optimization, which includes your organic search. And that would be, keyword optimization. That would be Google My Business. That would be content strategy, showing up when people search either your name or category. It also involves a paid search strategy, which is, pay-per-click, along with now LSA, which is the new latest and greatest from Google, showing up and paying for those searches. And then, of course, a robust social strategy with Facebook, LinkedIn for B2B, along with, Instagram. And so you've got to have content. You've got to have relevant stuff that people want to search. And in our case, the interest is really not when you talk about top funnel marketing, that is people that are just trying to kind of learn about you or the industry. It's not about accident content. It's really about lifestyle content. And I like to consider ourselves really a lifestyle brand. So when I say lifestyle content, I'm talking about bikes, motorcycle events, contests, giveaways. We do deal with insurance recommendations and safety matters as well, but to really get your brand out there and noticed and to build what I like to call brand equity and loyalty, you've got to provide value to your customer base well before they've ever been in an accident. So if and when they do get in an accident, you're the first to call. And of course, the third, which is I like to call our secret sauce, if you will, is our ground game, our grassroots marketing strategy. And that's really what differentiates, I think, us from others, is that we've got a 20-year, well-developed ground game that involves marketing managers in every market we're in, that we train, manage, oversee, hold accountable through KPIs and through other measurement tools, that actually go into the marketplace, go to shops on a regular schedule, and go to motorcycle events and speak at clubs, motorcycle club and organizations about safety, awareness, accident scene management. We do giveaways. So that ground game really is the differentiator, which builds trust, builds loyalty, brand affinity, but it takes a lot of management and a lot of strategy and execution. You can't just say, I'm going to hire someone and put them on the street and hope they do their job. I've got regional directors and a VP of field ops that oversees that team to make sure they're visiting shops regularly, that they're hitting these measurable goals like shop talks and co-branded marketing materials for our shop partners. So that's really, yeah, it's a lot. And I don't want to overwhelm the audience, because when I talk to them, especially when I'm looking for a member in a market we haven't sold, and I go through this whole overview of our program, like, man, that's a lot. I said, look, the reason you hire someone like us is because that's what we do. You practice law, that's your specialty. Our specialty is marketing and building a brand on your behalf in your market.
Wow. In criminal, family law, PI, even just traditional auto accidents, the audience identification game is one of the hardest. And for me, it's easy. I target lawyers for my marketing, right? So it's easy to identify a lawyer. In motorcycle accidents, it's easy to identify people who are interested in certain groups and attending certain stuff. So I'm curious, how can we apply your insights to areas of law where it's a little less identifiable? Like maybe we could brainstorm together real quick on different practice area verticals and how to target the audience.
Absolutely. So, take, for example, social media. Facebook has mounds of data that allow you to build what are called lookalike audiences. So you can essentially go to Facebook, you can provide a budget, you can target people based on interests. And let's say you want to go after, boating accidents or bicycle accidents. You can first target those individuals that identify themselves as cyclists or as, enthusiasts with, recreational enthusiasts or boating enthusiasts. So that's how we look at things from a full funnel approach. So your upper funnel, brand building, affinity building approach at the top of the funnel is find your audience any ways you can. We go to motorcycle events, we go to motorcycle shops where either the individuals are riders themselves or they engage with riders. So do the same thing when you're trying to focus on, let's say, I'll use it, like I said, the boating industry, for example. Go to boating events, go to boat shops where, they may provide you with referrals. So you've got to first identify the audience and try to market to them. But again, it can't just be a one type of approach. It can't just be putting ads on Facebook and assuming you're going to get a huge volume of business. You may get a few leads here and there, but if you really want to be the dominant force within your market, within a specific niche, you've got to hit them on multiple fronts. And not 7 times like they used to say. It's 20, 30, 40 times, because there's just so much noise out there and so much competition. From an SEO standpoint, what we do is we look for words that are relevant to our audience. So we're not just looking at motorcycle accident keywords, which are very expensive, amongst the most expensive, pay-per-click words. We're looking for keywords that, again, may relate to our rider. Best motorcycle rides in Arizona. Where do I go to repair my motorcycle? What are the motorcycle laws in Arizona? So you're looking for these, these broad keywords that can at least get you in front of your audience well before they've been in an accident. You've got to be in front of these people, years in some cases, before they've ever even known of you or need your services. So that broad keyword search, and we have a whole content program where we'll write content on and do video, and it's not just written content, it's video content. I have a videographer full-time and a production team, and we'll go out and film like Lake of the Ozarks, a motorcycle event we participate in, for evergreen content. So if someone searches, Lake of the Ozarks motorcycle event, our video is going to pop up with our logo in it, with our content. It's not about accidents. It's about obviously, beautiful rides and places to go when you go to that event. But you've got to give the public value, and you've got to, again, be able to build that loyalty and that brand affinity, again, well before whatever you do. You can't just put up a bunch of ads on either Facebook or have a huge pay-per-click budget and assume that you're gonna get a ton of business, because everyone else is doing that. You've got to be different. You've got to be unique. and that's what I tell people. You've got to stand out. And why would I pick you when I have 10, 20, 30 other choices within that category?
So this is, man, I got to bring you on here again because we got a lot to talk about. How can we go 3 to 4 steps before someone needs an attorney, right? So that it's not just top of funnel branding, but like if we take a few steps back and think, what would someone search before they needed a divorce lawyer? Well, maybe they would type in marriage counseling, right? So maybe we'd want to show up for that. Maybe we'd want to show up for terms that before they know they need the service, right? So, bankruptcy, like that could be credit repair. It could be or it could be, the opportunities are endless if you get creative. And what we do is we create an Excel spreadsheet of this. If you go on YouTube, you'll see we did this for lawyers. Like we pop up for law firm CRM. We don't sell CRMs. We just saw it was less competitive, right? Than law firm marketing, right? And then we create an Excel spreadsheet that vertically lists what are these demand segments. Do you guys do something similar when you're planning out content?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, and I have like I said, a whole team that does that. That's not my expertise.
Yeah.
That's another thing I think people have to realize. You can't do everything on your own. You've got to have people that are experts in their own field. But yeah, we do categorize it that way. And we're constantly looking for, new keywords to optimize and come up for on search. The other thing that I think is important to note is you've got to find good partners. And when I say that, we're always looking for partners within the industry, B2B partners that can help us where we can leverage our content, our expertise, our followers, and they can do the same. So for example, I'm trying right now to get in with Harley Corporate. That's like, for me, my ultimate goal is to get in with Harley Corporate. Last year we did this year rather, we did a motorcycle giveaway for Sturgis. We got 120,000 emails. Again, part of building a database so we can constantly stay in front of them. That's another tactic is, providing contests and other incentives to get people to give you their email. Then you constantly stay in front of them with not content that's about accidents, more again, top funnel lifestyle content. So I'm going to take that now and go to Harley and say, look, I'm asking you to provide me with a motorcycle for next year's Sturgis contest. Help me support it, and I will give you these emails. And I've spent $100,000 on marketing this contest as well. So and I have partners that are kind of tier 2, tier 3. Nothing against them, but they don't have the horsepower of Harley. But if you can utilize their social media, their email database, their customer base, and get in front of them in meaningful ways, you're broadening your audience, and you're also getting essentially a tacit endorsement, if not a direct endorsement, from this other business that, hey, these guys have been vetted, and if you ever need them, we work with them. So should you, from a B2B or B2C standpoint. So find partners, whatever the niche may be, and again, it could be in the boating sphere, parts manufacturers for boating. We do it with motorcycle builders and custom motorcycle builders and parts manufacturers and other, we sponsor races. So there's so many ways to help yourself get your brand out there without having to do it all on your own. But you also have to be willing to give that partner something of value to them.